Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated and silence your cell phones. Thank you.
It's so quiet all of a sudden. Give yourselves a hand. Welcome to the 2022 Annual Awards Celebration. We're here together under one roof here at the Pfister Hotel. Thanks to them, great dinner, don't you think? And I also want to thank them for providing Kleenex on the elevator on the way up today. I don't know if you noticed the dispenser that was right there, but it's possible that we may have to use a tissue or two tonight because it's going to be a very impactful night. We also want to welcome our members joining us from home. Hello, members from home. Let's give them a warm welcome. You can provide your own tissues. I'm Kathy Michelby, hair changed, eyes getting a little older. I still get my height from heels, but it's really just a pleasure to be here today as your MC and also a longtime member of Impact 100, a proud, proud member. Tonight we are going to hear from 5 finalists. This is after a lot of hard work by a lot of people who volunteer and get a lot of things done during the year. And then Impact 100 members, all of you, and all of you out there in Zoom land, will be voting online from here in the room and on the Zoom. Do you have your phones ready? Everybody have a phone? Anybody not have a cell phone to do the voting? Okay, good. Because we were going to provide you with one in case you didn't have one. I mean, it's not like we're connected to them or anything like that. Impact members, make sure you have your voting email on hand. I want everybody to raise their hand and say that they have seen, for their very own convenience, that reminder that you got sometime today from OPA Vote, and that was sometime this afternoon, because if you have that in front of you, then you have all the information that you're going to need for tonight. Are you ready for tonight? I think everybody, it was just a joyful noise to hear everybody in the hallways out there chatting, talking about just about anything, the kids, the grandkids, you know, how much their shoes hurt because they've been wearing sandals for the last 2 years, you know, how they, perhaps me, I put on mascara for the first time in maybe 2.5 years. That may have started actually after I stopped working, but, you know, it's nice to get dressed up and to be here tonight and to actually see everybody. It's really a wonderful experience. We could not do this without all the sponsors that you can read about in your packets, but that leads me to a very special introduction, and that is of Ann Tidmore of Johnson Financial Group. Ann.
Thank you, Kathy. Good evening and welcome. Wow, big group, right? I'm used to talking to like my kids and that's about it, so it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm really excited to be here tonight. I know we're all just so happy to be back together. And I think it's really great that we get together and we really celebrate the spirit of philanthropy that runs so deep in the Milwaukee community. You know, I've been here, I was just talking to someone, I've been in the Milwaukee community now for a little over 21 years, almost 22 years. And I continue to just be amazed by the consistent generosity that you and others in our community exhibit in support of those in need in Southeast Wisconsin. It's just really amazing. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and thank you for all you've done and continue to do. So as Kathy indicated, I'm with Johnson Financial Group, and we are the premier sponsor. We're honored to have been the presenting sponsor for the annual awards celebration in each of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee's 7 giving years. So we've been here since the beginning, and I hope we're here for many years to come. So at Johnson Financial Group, we believe that it is our responsibility to improve the lives of our customers, our employees, and also to make a meaningful and positive impact on the communities where we live and work and the communities we serve. It aligns very well with Impact 100. The mission statement, I have it here. It's an organization of women who collectively award transformative grants that make a lasting impact on the community. So it really aligns with the values of Johnson Financial Group. And it's one of the driving reasons why we continue to support this amazing organization. So as you heard, again, this is the 7th giving year for Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. Our membership has grown to over 400 women, each of who contribute $1,100, and of that $1,100, $1,000 goes to the grant pool, which is then given. You can see from the screen, or you saw from the screen, we've surpassed $2 million in total giving. Tonight, we're going to be awarding over $400,000. So our grand total, you know, more than $2.5 million. It's just really amazing. And there's no better example that I can think of that shows the power. Ooh, I hope everyone's okay back there. It shows the power of collective giving to make meaningful gifts that can transform the receiving organization. So thank you so much for all that you do. It's great to see you, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Ann, and thank you to JFG for 7 years of partnership with Impact 100. I think we can count that as a commitment that goes on and on and on. After having heard Ann strong-armed by Kathy, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to be said. Okay, just kidding. Okay, get those tissues ready. But first, a word from our president.
Welcome to the Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee 7th Annual Awards Celebration. I am Tracy Gobis, President of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. Our mission is to collectively award transformative grants that make a lasting impact on the community. It takes an enormous effort from incredible, passionate, dedicated women to get to tonight's program. We empower women to engage, develop, and inspire to be philanthropic decision makers. One woman, one gift, one vote. We are celebrating all of you in philanthropy and the impact of positive change to our greater Milwaukee community. Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee was founded 7 years ago, thanks to the vision and dedication of our 5 founders. After tonight's program, we will have awarded over $2.4 million. We continue to network with other Impact chapters on best practices. We are well regarded and respected with our solid and very strong foundation. We are the 28th chapter and initially one of the fastest growing. Our collective giving model offers a number of benefits, from grant review management, education about issues, social connectivity, and the opportunity for our members to make transformational contributions to several different organizations. The women of Impact 100 are change makers. Impact 100 Global now has over 60 chapters, including some in Australia and the UK. We have 15 in the works. Globally, our organization has awarded over $105 million. A special thank you to our transformational sponsor, Johnson Financial Group, for 7 years of continued support. And thank you to our sponsors tonight, Magic Productions, Elm Grove Travel, Physicians Realty Trust, 1111, Marcus Hotels and Resorts, Dr. Mark and Lana Krigo, and Krause Funeral Home. We are grateful to all of our sponsors this year for making this and all of our events possible. I would like to recognize the following Impact members who have made tonight's wonderful event possible. And if you could please stand. Liz Faring, Allison Wolf, Carla Cummings, Julie Sellers, Amy Amhert, Renee Mannion, and Stacy Shefford. And to the grants, communications, finance, membership, and system teams, and the many, many volunteers who made this evening possible. Also, to my husband, family, and friends, and to all of our families and friends, a heartfelt thank you for all of your support. We are truly grateful for all the intelligent and talented women of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. Your time, enthusiasm, and generosity are so appreciated. Thank you to all our leadership on the board and those that serve as committee chairs. It takes a village. You have helped us launch and continue this fabulous funding source in our community with transformational impact. Thank you to all our volunteers. As the history of today continues with many changes and challenges during the pandemic, this story is still being written. Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee continues to pivot, shift, and persevere. We continue to grow, inspire, make new friends, learn, and have fun. This evening is the culmination of a year that has had many positive changes. We have offered both live, in-person events and offered a virtual option. We have gotten much positive feedback and plan to continue with several next year. We have had a variety of events: membership kickoff, Global Day of Impact Luncheon and Celebration featuring Susan Dreyfus, Helping Hands, highlighting the great work being done by area nonprofits. 2 Beyond the Headlines, our educational series on relevant community issues of today with Judge Derek Mosley and an expert panel on the opioid crisis. And we have had many membership events. Tonight we have over 300 in attendance and over 60 attending virtually. Fabulous. This year, in addition to our usual day-to-day operations, we have had 2 major initiatives looking at our membership and communication platforms and member engagement. We have moved forward and started the implementation of Member Leap, a premier software solution which has far more functionality and the ability to better communicate with our members. We will be sharing more with you, including an app, in the next few months. I would like to thank Robin Martin, who chaired the research on Member Leap, and her committee, Joy Hartline, Nancy Coleman, Kathy Lockwood, Jamie Malatesta, Georgia Mavernick, and Peggy Niemer, and to the Member Leap and truly very tech-savvy implementation team, Kate Hauser, Nancy Coleman, Georgia Mavernick, Peggy Niemer, and Stacy Sheffer. Thanks to all of you. Enjoy tonight's program and let's celebrate. I am delighted to introduce Julie Gilpin, who will tell you more about member engagement findings. Julie.
Thank you, Tracy. Good evening. As mentioned, I'm Julie Gilpin, and I'm representing the Member Engagement Committee. Led by Ann Trenzo, our group was charged by the Board of Directors to tackle the topic of member engagement. We accepted this challenge. The challenge was to research what other impact groups are doing well, what our members want, and what suggestions they might have for what we could do differently in the future. I would like to ask my fellow Membership Engagement Committee members to please stand as I read your names. Ann Trenzo, Meg Boyle, Mary Therese Brager, Cynthia Harris, Maureen Kenfield, Margaret Cray, Kathy Morris, and Ann Pearson. It was truly a pleasure. It was truly a pleasure to work with these ladies. As a committee, we spent hundreds of hours collecting information. We spoke with leaders of 17 other Impact 100 groups from around the country to learn more about their best practices for engaging and retaining members, and we learned a lot. We talked to 25 of our own lapsed members about their involvement with and their departure from Impact 100, and we surveyed 273 of our members to learn more about their experiences, their levels of engagement, and their suggestions. We learned that our membership is engaged in our mission. And speaking of engaged members, let's engage in a little light cardio for a minute and learn more about who's in the room. If you're currently a member of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee, please stand. Please remain standing only if you have already renewed your membership. Okay. Thank you. You may be seated. Well, I'm thrilled to see that there are a few of you in this room who have already renewed for next year. If you have not yet renewed, and I can see there are several of you who have not, or if you're interested in joining, please stay tuned because I've got a way for you to do it very easily coming up. Okay, a little more cardio here. Please stand if you have ever served on the Impact Board of Directors or as a chair or a part of any Impact committee. Please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, I don't know if you can tell from where you're sitting, but from here, wow, this is a very engaged group of women, lots of people standing. And we thank you for your active participation in Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. It takes a lot of woman power to do what we do. And because of you, Impact 100 is truly making a difference in our community. And we challenge you to engage in Impact in the coming year. Now, remember a minute ago I said the word survey? We surveyed our membership. How many of you remember receiving and completing a survey from us? More than half of you completed it, and for that we thank you. We discovered from the survey that over 60% of our members feel the most compelling reason to join or renew is the power of collective giving, the ability to make a difference that one could not make on her own. Survey results also told us that you feel the greatest benefits of your membership are the ability to participate in large vetted grant giving, the opportunity to support local organizations, and the ability to help support small and mid-sized nonprofits. We also learned that 62% of you would be very interested in volunteering for a one-and-done day type of event. So we'll be calling you to participate in such things. We thank you for completing the survey. And as a thank you, there is a special Impact 100 cookie at each place tonight. Please enjoy compliments of the Membership Engagement Committee. Now also, please take special note of the stickers on the back of the cookie. One simply shows a little basic information about the treat, but the other sticker is much more exciting. The other sticker is the Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee QR code. We have just made it deliciously easy for you to join, renew, or to find more information. I know, corny, right? Or to find a little more information about how you can truly engage as a member. So you just take your phone, scan that code, and go. The information is all there for you. As an additional thank you to our membership for your thoughtful responses to our survey, our committee is rewarding our members by putting all of your names in a drawing tonight. We have 3 great prizes for 3 winners. My committee member, Ann Pearson, is gonna help. Let me say what it's for before you pull a name out, okay? So our first winner will win, and if you just stand, if your name is called, Cynthia Harris will deliver a gift bag to you. If by chance we call the name of someone who's not here, don't worry, we'll mail her her gift card. The first one is a $100 gift card to the fabulous Mason Street Grill right here in the Pfister Hotel. And the winner is Tammy Sweeney. Is Tammy here? All right, we'll hang on to that and we'll get it to her. Our second is a $100 gift card to Faye's Store.
I know she's here because I saw her.
And the winner is Pamela Urquhart. Urquhart. Oh, she's right back there. All right, so I'll take that one so I can. All right, and our third and final prize is a $100 gift card to the fabulous Wells Spa, and one of its locations is right here in the Pfister. And the winner is Mary Domer. Okay, perfect. I'll just slide this back under here. All right. So congratulations to our winners. We'll get these to them. And we really do thank you again for all of you who completed our survey. We look forward to seeing more members engaged in the mission and the work of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee in the years to come. Thank you again and enjoy the rest of this special evening.
When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is.
Less than 1/3 of Milwaukee teens find jobs, and unemployment is higher in communities of color.
And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man.
Research has shown that slow, intentional walks in nature help heal trauma and treat traumatized children, veterans, and victims of violence.
Have any of your children ever made a mistake? Have they ever made a mistake that will be life-threatening? Have they ever made a mistake that they will regret the rest of their life? And my question to you is, do you stop loving them? until you turn your back on them.
Is the promised glade, the hill we climb if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it.
Did you know the river has historically been a dividing line between neighborhoods? When the North Avenue Dam was removed downstream from here, a pedestrian bridge was built across the river. Rather than a ribbon cutting, a ribbon tying took place, symbolizing connecting neighborhoods and people from both sides of the river together.
When we succeed, one less person is sent back to prison. One less victim is created. One less tear is shed. And then our communities are safer.
When I hold you, nothing can compare. With all of my heart, you know I'll always be right there.
But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy.
I would not be where I am today if someone didn't take the chance on me and provide me with opportunity. And not just opportunity in the form of tokenism or being approved of, but equal and equitable opportunity to pursue my dreams.
I am living proof of our vision of healed and healthy communities grown and tended by teens. Tonight we are happy to say that with your support of $100,000, we can take one step closer to making that vision a reality.
Impact100 is such an amazing organization, and as a woman in Milwaukee, I can't wait to be a part of something like this.
You guys are the rock stars. Thank you so much tonight. You're making a huge, and what I would say, and I like your terminology, a lasting impact. You are making a difference. God bless you all.
Together, oh, just you and me. The more I get to know you, the more I really care.
When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
I'll always be right there.
Talk about impact, that's wonderful. Special thanks to 11, otherwise known as 1111, but 11 is preferred, for that heartfelt video. It was lovely. It is now my pleasure to invite Grant co-chair Jamie Malatesta to the podium. Jamie.
Thank you, Kathy. So I'd never dreamed I'd follow the powerful words of Amanda Gordon, but here I am. What I do know, and I hope you agree, is that the video shows the power of collective giving. Our membership has been blessed to support and fund 29 nonprofits in 6 years. We know their journeys, their challenges, and successes. What the video didn't tell you was how our grants were put to work. Our grant money has laid a strong foundation to help launch pilot programs and new businesses, provided crucial transportation, funded kitchens, gyms, freezers, phone systems, supported staff training, and have helped to expand programs to the next level. Today, we will listen and learn from 5 organizations who will share their story on how our grant money can assist them to be more impactful and transformative to their clients and community. But before we hear from them, on behalf of my amazing grant co-director, Ann Shoemaker, she's in the back, we'd like to thank our entire grant team who have spent countless hours making sure our grant process was transparent, open, and successful. We'd like to specifically thank Julie Barris, our financial review chair, and her entire financial review team. They crunched the numbers, asked questions, and reviewed each applicant's financial health. And a special thank you to Nancy Remar-Smith, our grant platform chair, and Barb Holtz, our grant management chair, for your nonprofit knowledge, attention to detail, and valuable input. And of course, our 5 amazing grant chairs who you will have the pleasure of meeting in the next part of the program. And finally, to our 87 grant committee members, your thoughtful conversations, insights, and humor were a joy to witness. We sent out a survey this year and asked our grant committee members what they enjoyed most about their grant experience, and I'd like to share a few highlights in the hopes that it might inspire you to join a grant committee next year. The first one is I was able to learn about new nonprofits I was not aware existed prior to being on a grant committee. So this first quote we have heard many times, time and time again, and it makes me smile because it's one of the main reasons why I began my Impact 100 journey. Another highlight is collaborating and being part of a team of women who have a common goal of making an impact. And my favorite, honestly, everything. I loved meeting everyone, having a shared purpose in the work we needed to do. I loved how serious everyone took their role and how respectful we were of each other. Now, I had no idea that Julie Gilpin was going to make you guys stand up and down, but we're going to do it again. Okay. I would like to ask all members of the grant team, including all committee members who are here in person and virtually, to please stand and let's give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, these women have presented you with our 5 finalists, so our full membership can vote and award our grant dollars tonight. So let's get to it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Beth Coomer, and I had the privilege of serving as a grant chair this year. I would like to thank my thoughtful and insightful committee members, including our financial review liaison, Jill Haupt, and our site visit coordinator, Ginny Cannonberg. Thank you also to Katie O'Meara and Kathy Lockwood for taking on roles in our committee as well. It's always a treat to get to know new and inspiring women in Impact 100 Milwaukee. I am thrilled to introduce our finalist, Hyphen, a brand new, innovative, urban alternative channel from Radio Milwaukee. You all know Radio Milwaukee, 88.9 on the dial, but soon you're going to know them for Hyphen, a channel that will highlight the breadth of local Black artists to help build a stronger, more culturally relevant community within our city. Please give a warm welcome to Hyphen's program manager, Tariq Moody, and Lauren Feaster, a Radio Milwaukee board member.
Unexpected. Good evening. Today, I'd like to share you with our dream for a powerhouse for change in Milwaukee, in our communities, and in the nation. I've been in Milwaukee for the past 15 years, but was raised in Atlanta, Georgia. One thing that Atlanta has is a thriving Black culture, especially for young Black professionals. And to be honest, it's the reason I almost left Milwaukee and moved back to my hometown. Atlanta is a place where I could move to and immediately plug right into a vibrant culture of success of people who look like me. It's not about jobs. it's all about culture. Culture attracts, culture retains, and more importantly, culture makes you feel like you belong. And culture is a reason why young black people and professionals in our city are leaving. This is a problem. The MMAC recently conducted their Region of Choice survey. And one question they asked, would you recommend Milwaukee as a place to live? All racial groups and demographics had positive ratings except for one, black respondents, with an astounding score of -37. I decided to stay in Milwaukee because of what happened on May 25th, 2020, when George Floyd was killed. I recommitted to Milwaukee and decided to invest in this city and build something special. I've called this place now my home. I've invested 1/3 of my life in this city. I see the frustration, I hear the anger. I want to do something to invest in the culture and create something for Milwaukee and for my people. This is how Hyphen was born.
A hyphen, as you all know, is a connector that bridges the gap between words, bringing them together. And this is exactly what we intend to do with Hyphen. Bridge the gap in Milwaukee, connect local business with new entrepreneurs, and break down the silos in our community. The name Hyphen also represents the many identities within our community. Like the music we play, our community cannot fit neatly into a particular box. Tariq is a DJ, foodie, architect, veteran, among many other things. I'm a CEO, a mother, a DJ, an educator, and Hyphen emphasizes the multitude and depth of the Black experience. Radio Milwaukee is not alone in launching Hyphen. We were lucky to receive a significant grant from investment from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to launch this effort. The CPB invested in Hyphen, but needs to see our community also invest. That's why we've been tasked with raising $450,000 to match their funding, and that's where you all come in. So a $100,000 gift from Impact100 would help us invest in the building awareness for Hyphen and connecting with our audience.
You may be asking yourself, do people still listen to radio? For our target audience, the answer is yes. According to Nielsen, radio has the highest reach of all media options for Black consumers age 18 and over. Traditional radio reaches 92% of the U.S. Black population each week. That's 92%. But radio was not built with Black audience in mind. We aim to change that with Hyphen. This is why we set a specific target audience of Black women aged 26 to 39. Black women are trailblazers in our community, and Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the country. Black women deserve a platform that will respect them on all their beauty, power, and potential. We plan to celebrate Black women and women identify and voice in a way that will be radically different than any other media platform. And when you listen to most radio stations, the music is dominated by men and male voices. In fact, most radio stations still operate under an old rule where you can't play two songs back to back by women. Hyphen will be different. We plan to achieve a gender balance that is 60% women and 40% men.
And Hyphen won't just sound different, it will be different. We have a real opportunity with this platform to create something for our community and to change the perception of Milwaukee more broadly, nationally. Hyphen will be a connector, not a competitor.
As we've done over the past 15 years with Radio Milwaukee, Hyphen will build on a model of partnership. Our goal is to share the mic and amplify all things we have to be proud in our community. We all know the negative stat lines about Milwaukee. Let's give people something else to talk about. Let's break down the silos and bring people together to tell different stories. Let's start changing perception of Milwaukee. A $100,000 grant from Impact100 will show the community that Hyphen is more than a radio station. It's a movement worth investing. You are here because you are leaders who care deeply about Milwaukee. I stay here because I care about Milwaukee. Lauren joined our board because she cares about Milwaukee. Together, we create something for our city to be proud of. Let's change the conversation. Thank you.
Good evening. Welcome Impact100 members, guests, as well as finalists. I'm Chris Anderson. I'm one of the grant committee chairs. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Advocates of Ozaki. It's a domestic abuse shelter providing 24-hour support to those in need in not only Ozaki County, but also in surrounding Milwaukee communities as needed. Their project that they're going to talk to you about to renovate the shelter to enhance their ADA compliant facilities will create a much more functional, supportive, and healing environment for domestic abuse victims and their children. I wish to thank all of the grant committee members that worked with me this year, the dedication of their time, their patience, as we did some challenging times on Zoom and Teams, and just their input in regards to how we selected among very, very, very worthy causes. Please welcome Barb Fisher to tell us a little bit more about the project to renovate the Advocate Shelter.
Good evening. Please take a minute and close your eyes. Imagine with me for a moment. Imagine a time in your life when you felt a great deal of emotional pain. Imagine knowing that if you talked to anyone about that pain, that it could get much worse and that your life might be in danger. Imagine knowing that your children were also at risk of being hurt and you didn't know how to protect them. Imagine having nowhere to turn and nowhere to go. The feelings that you most likely have had if imagined are those of despair, hopelessness, and panic. Victims of domestic and sexual violence experiencing these same feelings every single day. Luckily, they have somewhere amazing to turn. They can come to Advocates of Ozaki. Advocates have been serving victims for 44 years. We're the only domestic and sexual violence agency in Ozaki County, serving Ozaki, outlying counties, and definitely victims from the Milwaukee area. Anything you think a victim might need in crisis to become safe and stable, we're there to provide. We have a 24-hour hotline, a 16-bed shelter that will soon become 19. We provide one-on-one counseling with master-level therapists. We have support groups for adults and children. We assist with legal, medical advocacy, anything you need, we're by your side. Many of our services focus on crisis. How do we get you out? How do we keep you safe? How do we keep your children safe? Do you have injuries that need to be treated? We take each client one day at a time and get through this section. Abuse affects every facet of life and every piece of who we are. Many people believe that after leaving an abusive situation, things are instantly better. That just is not the case. The healing that takes place is ongoing recovery that requires not only support and counseling we offer, but oh so much more. Last year we did a focus group with the clients to ask them what more we could do to assist them. The overwhelming majority said, we do crisis handling, legal assistance, and counseling really well. Gaps they saw were having a laundry and a place for children to study on the main floor of our shelter, space to exercise, a playground, healthy cooking classes, and a safe place for their pets where they would not be separated from them for months. Mostly things we take for granted every day. This is what victims need for a safe, non-abusive life. Research shows that all these things needed to live a healthy life, both physically and emotionally, and that they also help to heal trauma. With the adding of an exercise room, a playground, a children's center family space, a pet kennel, meditation relaxation programs, we're adding services that will help us to heal the whole person. We aren't just adding space. We aren't just adding equipment. We're providing healing and using proven techniques for victims and survivors. We're giving all of our clients the chance to be independent and build confidence that they can make it without their abusive partner. Domestic violence work is hard, and it's hard to talk about. But on the flip side, we see so much success, such as Christy and Joanne, who both just bought their first homes. Like Lois, who on her own got a grant from the Doris Buffett Foundation to finish her education and is now working in the social service field. She's come full circle. And like Dolores, who tomorrow, June 9th, will become a United States citizen. Advocates is at a crossroads. With a grant from Impact 100, we will build a stronger network of support and options for victims. The grant will give us the space and tools to do that. All these spaces and services that I just mentioned will become a reality with this grant. Now please close your eyes again once more. Imagine a child being comforted by their pet and playing on the playground, or receiving homework help in the children's center. Imagine a mom needing some relaxation, having a quiet space and a moment to exercise and meditate. Imagine a disabled mom being able to do the laundry for her whole family and spend time with her kids in the new children's center. Impact 100's grant of $100,000 will make these images come true. Your support will bring a brighter future to hundreds of community members and their families. We thank you, and they thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Pam Klein, and I'm one of your Impact 100 grant chairs. For my committee, many people were participating for the first time in the grant evaluation process, and more than half of our committee were new to Impact 100 this year. I'd like to thank my entire committee for showing up as your best selves, as engaging in thoughtful and critical conversations and discussions, and asking insightful questions. It's been a true pleasure getting to know all of you and to create new friendships as a result of our work together. Tonight, I am delighted to introduce Hope Street as the finalist selected from our committee. For 22 years, Hope Street has provided transitional housing and transformative healing to people whose lives have been profoundly affected by trauma and tragic experiences, such as addiction and abuse. Utilizing a greenhouse for people philosophy, Hope Street is now planting seeds and sending out roots into their surrounding neighborhood. Their new Shechem Community Center on 26th and Capitol in Milwaukee will address local challenges of having a safe and encouraging place for this neighborhood. The two project classrooms will provide community kids a space to grow and play when not in school, as well as offer educational opportunities for local adults. To tell you more, it's my pleasure to introduce Hope Street Executive Director, Ashley Thomas.
Where are people often most afraid to go in Milwaukee? Often through a dangerous neighborhood, or perhaps in close proximity with people that have experienced different forms of brokenness. Where do we find the greatest treasure? We often find it in those places that we're most afraid to go. There was a young woman who had been taught her whole life to avoid the hood. While her family had experienced a season of homelessness and poverty, the message was still pretty loud and clear. Avoid being where those people are. In other words, addicts and criminals. She got really good at knowing which neighborhoods to avoid, yet not even a decade later, she found herself traveling down to 26th and Capitol, holding on to the very clear message that's not a safe neighborhood. Inside of Hope Street, there was an older woman named Cassandra. She was often joy-challenged and known best for the scarf and jacket that were a wardrobe staple. She was present, but distant. Life experience had taught her that trust isn't possible and vulnerability is weakness. Cassandra spent several decades enslaved to her addiction of drugs and alcohol. She flaunted through very unhealthy relationships and ended up with very few physical belongings and many damaged familial relationships. At Hope Street's weekly prayer meeting, that young woman and Cassandra often sat next to each other, and neither of them had much to say. Some time lapsed, and eventually Cassandra and the young woman stood up one day to leave, and Cassandra turned and said, "Thanks for coming." Thanks for coming. The same words I hear every single day I walk through the doors at Hope Street. I was that young woman. Cassandra, who I fondly called Sunshine, became my why. She is why I kept coming back, and she is why I'm still there today. We walked through life together up until the moment she breathed her last. We discovered that working through our fear brought us the treasure of true friendship. 10 years ago, I walked through our doors at Hope Street and was met with love, freedom, and peace. My once-a-week volunteering turned into a staff position, and then 6 years ago, the opportunity to become the executive director at the age of 26. I have discovered that we all grow together. I have seen people be transformed. I have been transformed. It truly is a greenhouse for people. At Hope Street, we provide a safe space to grow and flourish. We provide housing and healing to men, women, and children coming out of different areas of brokenness. We offer counseling, spiritual growth, and life skills training. We learn new habits, especially as we unlearn unhealthy habits. We keep it real because we've seen the negative effects of faking it for far too long. The goal is that we move beyond surviving and that we truly learn how to thrive or flourish. From there, the hope is for a positive transplant back into the greater community. Now, this is where we discovered a missing gap, a gap between our members and the greater community. And this need birthed the vision for Shechem. Shechem at Hope Street is a refuge, a safe place for reconciliation to take place between the young and the old, black and white, rich and poor, and any other barriers that we've created. This vision has been 6 years in the making, and now our grand opening is this summer on August 27th. This multi-purpose community center is next door to Hope Street and will provide life skills classes, after-school programming for youth, a resource center, and a gymnasium. This vision was born out of the desires of this community, and this community is truly bringing this vision to life. The 53206 zip code in which Hope Street and Shechem reside is wrought with a negative stigma and a list of negative statistics to back it up. 2/3 of the children in 53206 live in poverty. With poverty comes a concentrated disadvantage in the areas of employment, education, housing, and high incarceration rates. Ladies of Impact100, your gift will help us disrupt that statistic in a major way by giving kids a safe space after school to study, work on homework, be active, and express themselves, by providing a gym that will be a positive and safe space to play, be active, and be in community, by inviting parents and adults of all ages to participate in life skills classes, counseling, job preparedness, and substance abuse support, as well as a beautiful venue for hosting special events like baby showers and birthday parties, as well as conferences and resource fairs. Hope Street and Shechem provide housing and healing, a space where people can experience the treasure of relationships. You can join us in that desire and experience for yourself the love, joy, and peace that comes from entering into those spaces that sometimes scare us. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. My name is Sue Connor, and I was honored to participate in the grant process with 14 women passionate about the good works going on in our local communities. Insightful, curious, thoughtful, and energetic. These qualities were ever present in the women I was fortunate to volunteer with this year. To sum up our brief journey, I would say it was purposeful. Our grant committee educated ourselves on the important needs in our local communities, and a hidden gem rose to the top: Victory Garden Initiative. Victory Garden, an urban farm, strives to be the resident-led solution to the food desert in which 15,000 residents of the Harambee neighborhood live. Please join me in welcoming Michelle Dobbs, the Executive Director, and Lexi Mulhern, Chief of Operations of Victory Garden Initiative, as they share the needs of the Harambee community through the Homestead Project.
Good evening. Before we ask you for money, I want to talk to you about Harambee, Milwaukee, where VGI lives. All 15,000 neighbors live in a food desert, which is defined as a neighborhood which has limited access to fresh food. And this limited access to healthy food leads to chronic health conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. And many families in Harambee live at or below poverty levels, and while there isn't much in terms of pay stubs, it is the most generous place I have ever worked, with neighbors helping neighbors through the worst of times. So in the midst of this food desert lies a food forest, Victory Garden Initiative, and that's where we grow. Lexi's going to tell you about how we do it.
Hello, everybody. So yes, my name is Lexi, and contrary to what the weather is doing outside, we are in theory heading full force into summer. That being said, Victory Garden Initiative has programming that happens year-round. So in the spring is when we have what we call our Great Milwaukee Victory Garden Blitz, which is actually the nation's largest garden bed building event. Just a few weeks ago, we actually finished up our 14th annual year, and it's our annual goal to install 500 gardens each year across the city. And so since our start, we have installed more than 7,000 gardens across Milwaukee. Thank you. And then in the summer, which in theory now, is when all the action, all the life is happening across the street on our 1.5-acre urban farm. And so between our staff, our volunteers, and our neighbors, we have been able to harvest at minimum 500 pounds of produce every month that we then give out free of charge back to the community. And then in fall is when we start back up with our youth programming, which tends to be a success because kids really already tend to enjoy playing in soil and with bugs. And then finally is winter, which is when we invite our neighbors in to teach classes about topics that they are passionate about to the community. So we are a small staff and we do what we can. We acknowledge that food insecurity is bigger than Harambee, bigger than Milwaukee. And we don't hope to save the world, but we do really try to scratch the surface a bit. And with Impact100, we would definitely be able to scratch a little bit deeper. So I appreciate you all for being here. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Michelle.
We're addressing food insecurity through the power of an engaged community that pulls together. Through this storm, the storm before that, we're ready for the next one. And I want to invite you to join us with a gift of $100,000. It will be spent on, first, deploying a team of sustainability fellows who will work while earning agroecology fellowships through the USDA. And secondly, we'll be adding infrastructure that will support our work. And we'll bring water to the desert with water catchment systems, water barrels for the community gardens, the education gardens, and for us to use for our crops. We'll also install an ADA accessibility ramp, which will allow more people than ever to come aboard, to come on land, and qualify us for the deep end of the pool when it comes to grants and contracts. And we are simple. Fresh tomatoes and sunshine, your great-grandma's collard green recipe, a friendly smile, an open door, and more zucchini than we know what to do with. But by blending the art of community, the intangibles of Harambee, with the science of growing, the sky is the limit. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Sandy Dunst, and I'm honored to introduce our committee's finalists, the Benedict Center. For 48 years, the Benedict Center has provided services for women impacted by the criminal justice system. Their bridge project will fund 2 certified peer specialists. These are women who themselves have transitioned successfully from the criminal justice system into the community. They will serve women by providing basic needs assistance in areas such as education, housing, and employment to allow these women to become self-sufficient and live safer and healthier lives. I'm grateful to the 20 members of our committee. We also had a number of new first-time Impact 100 members. They invested significant time and gave very careful consideration to all of our applicants, so thank you. And a special thank you to those who took on additional committee work. I'd like to thank Jennifer Clement, Kristen Harrell, Lee Maxon, Pat Lai, and Maureen Kenfield. Now, from the Benedict Center, please welcome Jean Gerasi, Executive Director, and Sabrina Lafour, Certified Peer Specialist.
It is bright up here. Please take a moment to think about one of your closest friends. Now think about a time when that friend was there for you when you really needed it. Doesn't that feeling of being understood and supported make all the difference? That close friend trust, understanding, and encouragement is at the heart of our Bridge project. The Benedict Center is a leading provider of services and advocacy for women affected by the criminal justice system. We provide mental health and substance use counseling, an underlying need for over 80% of incarcerated women. Annually, we serve 200 women in our outpatient program. We do amazing work, but we're still missing something key, especially in times like these when violence and overdoses are not slowing down. Women need that close friend level of support from someone who they can trust. They need an extra layer of support to complete treatment and navigate towards goals like education and employment for their future. There is a job title for people who can meet this need. Certified peer specialists are professionals who utilize their personal lived experience to provide support to others and demonstrate that recovery is possible. Your generous $100,000 grant will help us complete the bridge to women's recovery by hiring 2 certified peer specialists. Certified peer specialists complement clinical staff. They are qualified by the wisdom gained from their own recovery journey. This gives them the transformative power to engage their peers. With the state's training course and exam, they become certified to begin a behavioral health career. And it works. One Wisconsin program showed that connecting patients with a peer specialist decreased acute hospitalizations by 71%. Currently, 41 states, including Wisconsin, provide Medicaid reimbursement for peer specialist services, and this will sustain the Bridge project once we get started. The need for healing services for women struggling with trauma, mental illness, and drug use is at an all-time high. It is more urgent than ever to increase our capacity by adding peer specialists to our team. Now, I'd like to introduce Sabrina LaFleur, soon to graduate from the Benedict Center and newly certified peer specialist, who would like to share her story. Sabrina.
Hello. Ladies, let me first tell you, rock bottom has a basement, believe me. I know. I first experienced mental health issues when I was 12 years old. But I didn't have support with my mental health or my substance abuse. But then at 34, I had a psychotic episode where I ended up hurting my daughter. I ended up in jail. That's where I met Katie Litch of the Benedict Center. With the help from the Benedict Center, I was able to turn my life around for me and my daughter. When a friend first told me about certified peer specialists, I knew right away that that is exactly what women needed. If I had a peer specialist in my corner, the road to recovery wouldn't have been so tough, long, and heartbreaking. I believe my testimony could give hope to someone that is in a dark spot in their lives. and let them know this isn't it for you. There is help available. The skills I developed from the Certified Peer Specialist training has also helped my relationship with my daughter. One day she said, "Mom, I feel like a crumb on the floor." I said, "Well, I'll be a crumb on the floor with you. We'll get through this." And that's part of what a certified peer specialist does. They hold your hand on your journey. Certified peer specialists are needed to help dissolve the stigma that comes from searching for mental health and substance abuse help. We are here to bridge the gap needed for recovery. We are transparent in sharing our lived experiences, which create a safe space for the peer to be vulnerable and open with us and themselves. I already have a job offer with another organization, but I really want to become the Benedict Center's first certified peer specialist so I can give women the support they need. Impact 100, we need you on the bridge. So women, peer specialists like me, can take the hand of women coming after us and help them walk across the bridge to their recovery and their dreams. Thank you.
Okay, now comes the hard part. Let's give another hand to all 5 of our finalists. It's time now to start talking about the actual balloting. And all of you have done your homework and you found your ballots, correct? Everybody stay seated if you found your email that is important for your voting process. Members, pull up that email. You'll see your voting link. The easiest way to do this is probably that reminder email that you got on OPALink, and that will help you. You have, once I say it, 7 minutes to cast your ballots. And then I'll be back to let you know what happens next. So please keep an eye on that countdown, 6:58. All right, it's going down. And make sure you vote before that time expires. And you can enjoy a little elevator music while you vote. 3, 2, 1. Voting closed. Are we ready for the moment we've all been waiting for? We're going to give them a little time to do the actual counting of the ballots, but we are here to announce the results after a little bit here. I think we're under control. I guess I should look over at the committee that's involved in the voting count. How are you doing? You doing all right? Okay, that's fine. Impact 100 uses a voting method which requires members to rank all 5 finalists in preferred order. Now I tell you, just kidding, you know that. The point values are assigned for each position on the ballot. And during the interlude, after the voting closed, our results team, they can't make a noise, can they? Results team, are you busy over there? Reviewing the ballots. Oh, excellent. Tabulating them online, because we are also hearing from the room and the Zoom. That team included Nicole Anderson, an impartial non-member. Nicole is from the accounting firm of CLA, as well as governance director Kathy Schluter. And I hope that I pronounced Kathy's. It's hard to pronounce Kathy. It's always been a problem. Is it Cathay? Is it Kathy? Is it Kathy? Is it, but, Schluter, always easy. Always an easy name to come up with. The ballot included those cast tonight and some absentee ballots cast earlier by members who were not able to join us tonight. You should tell them, bummer, you should have been here. It was fun. Only the results team actually knows the final vote totals, and those results will remain confidential. Based on members' ranked ballots, 4 finalists will be awarded $100,000. And while one finalist will receive $5,000, a merit grant. In total, that adds up to $405,000, which represents a generous investment of $1,000 from each of this year's, I think you figured it out, 405 Impact 100 members. We also want to emphasize that the $100,000 grant awards will be announced in no particular order. So, just settle down. In other words, the first $100,000 recipient announced is not necessarily the organization with the most favorable rating. And here, we're going to hand it over to Ann Shoemaker. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let's see, what other stories can I tell you? So I did tell this story to another member tonight. It was a night that we're doing the news. It's about 9:25, and suddenly our computer goes down. I hope that hasn't happened. That really hasn't happened, had it? And the computer at that point was not only our, sort of brains of the operation as far as getting all the scripts in order, and also, I guess it would feed the captioning that would go to the hearing impaired. It had all the directions of which camera should go where or whatever. Well, that broke down. And it's 9:25, and we got to do a newscast. And so, I was sort of in charge at that point because I was the one whose face was going to be on the newscast. So I just looked at everybody. I go, forget the computer. Go to the garbage bins. And so literally, in the next 20 minutes, everybody just went and emptied garbage and tried to figure out what order any script was supposed to be in. It was from the editing purposes, from reporters' scribbles on notes, to, like a rundown that had been discarded hours before. We basically created a script that was about this high because it was crumpled, it had gum, it had God knows what else all over it, and we just walked in with one pile of scripts, and we managed to get a show on the air. So there's always a lot of behind-the-scenes things that happen that hopefully it looks like everything is running 100%. Impact 100% under control. Because you never want anybody to think that it's anything but a perfect operation. How are we doing with our voting tabulations? Okay, no worries, no worries, no worries, no worries. How many people are here for the first time tonight? Stand up. Woohoo! Let's hear it for you guys. How many of you have been here or have been a member for all the years of Milwaukee's Impact 100? Let's hear it. How many people are wearing their name tags tonight that are magnetically attached to their attire? I guess I'm not. Where did mine go? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it was that darn name, Kathy again. It's so hard to pronounce. But at any rate, here's the deal. We're going to reuse these because that's a money-saving thing. And so that can only happen if you don't put it in your purse or your pocket or swallow it or whatever, which is truly not recommended because it's a magnet. But what you're supposed to do is you remove this at some point, and you're going to drop it in one of those pink bins that you saw when you registered with your name and, all your information tonight, so that we can hopefully retrieve 100% impact of our name tags tonight. Let's see if we can be the very first organization to actually do that, so that you don't find it like at the bottom of your purse about 12 weeks from now or whatever. Meantime, how are we doing with the tabulation? All right, well, let's see. We could take some questions. Remember last year when the room was so hot? Let's just give the Fister a giant round of applause for presenting this. What a beautiful room. An absolutely beautiful room. And how about we thank all those wonderful people who did do all the real legwork of talking with all the different organizations who, were competing in this year or last year. I think I hear a cheer. Yeah. Is that do we have results? Let's see. I'm not certain what this all means. I could sing. It could be like American Idol, saved by the results. And Ann Shoemaker, who is going to join us on stage with tonight's big moment.
I think I've been introduced 2 or 3 times now, so we're just going to get right to it. I've had the privilege and pleasure to be a grant co-director with Jamie Malatesta this year. Thank you, Jamie. It's just been a blast. And now I have the pleasure and privilege of announcing the first recipient. So on behalf of Impact 100's board and members, I am pleased to award a $100,000 grant to Benedict Center.
Thank you.
I just want to say I thank you guys so much for this, and I'm almost going to be in tears because it feels so good to change your life and to be a change and then want to share the change and be a part of the change and be the bridge to help the change, And it's just me coming
from a very dark place and then being able to shine so bright with the help of the Benedict Center really, really helped me. And I also want to say thank you again. I don't know what to say. Thank you. These are tears of joy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julie Barris, and I've had the pleasure of being the Financial Review Director for the last 2 years. And it is truly an honor to be able to announce the second recipient of a $100,000 impact grant, and that would be going to Hope Street. Congratulations.
Send somebody up to get the check after all the hugging.
Thank you. I did not think through this part, but thank you. I'll just start with that as well. As I have thought about this project, and as we've all, this is my team, some of our board members, and all of the many people that have made this thing happen, and we get to see it now because it's being built, and we will get to be in it soon because it's being opened. And you all are a part of that. And for us, names and relationships are huge because that lasts longer than anything else. And you may not get to know all of the names that will be impacted. You may not get to meet all the faces, but you can drive down Capitol and see a beautiful building that you all will have contributed towards. So thank you again so much for this.
Yes, where are those Kleenex? Boy. So I won't even try and read what's written here. But I'm Allison Wolf, and I'm the events director, and I am going to announce the third winner of a $100,000 grant for Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. And it's Advocates of Ozaki.
It's so much easier to be here now than before. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for all of you and the work that you do and helping us to do the work that we do. You need to know you're changing lives, and you really are going to be changing lives. Thank you so very much.
Okay, so here we go. Our final $100,000 impact grant recipient is Victory Garden Initiative.
Thank you very much. I am dumbstruck and so grateful, and I didn't prepare to say thank you. I prepared to apply again. But my team rocks so hard, and I'm so proud of us and so grateful to you guys for getting behind and helping us pull. I'm sorry, I don't have any more words. Do you want to say something else? Oh, yeah. Please be sure to stop by this summer and get some zucchini.
And the Merit Award goes to Radio Milwaukee. If you could stand. Congratulations to our 5 finalists. Welcome to the Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee family. We will look forward to seeing your progress with your programs this year. Let's give them all another round of applause. A huge thank you to Kathy Michaelby, Magic Productions, the Pfister Hotel, 1111, all of our sponsors, Nicole Anderson, our voting overseer, and to all our members. You have all made this evening what it is tonight. Thank you. I cannot be more excited to introduce and welcome our new president, Stacy Sheffer. Please accept this ceremonial gavel as you begin your new adventure as president of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. You are a true shining star, and I know will continue with our Impact 100 mission, membership initiatives, and help us grow. Please welcome the very talented and delightful Stacy Sheffer. Okay. That's for you.
What a warm welcome. What a fantastic event tonight. Am I right? Can we get one more round of applause? That's just what we're doing. I'm so proud of each and every finalist. Telling us your story, we are all walking away better community members. My name is Stacy Sheffer, and I'm the incoming president for Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee. I'm sure most of the room just thought, oh wow, she is young. I did just finish making a TikTok backstage, so I'll show all of you the dance later. When asked to be the next president, I instantly thought of 30 reasons why I should not. My son just turned 1. I just got a new role at work. We're building a house in Cedarburg. Shout out to Ozaukee County. But then I brought myself back to this event, to tonight, and to the smiles on the finalists' faces when we give them a $100,000 check. They work so hard to raise every dollar, and we're here tonight funding a dream project. But my mom always said, think it through before you say yes. She's here tonight. She's so proud of me. So I waited for 15 seconds, and then I said, I am all in. I'm all in because I believe in the power of collective giving. The projects we are funding, the projects you heard tonight, are purposeful, transformational, and sustainable. My dollar is intentional with Impact100. I am all in on this organization. My challenge to all of you tonight, what is your all in? What does your all in look like? Is it bringing a coworker to coffee to talk about Impact100's mission? Is it bringing a friend to the kickoff event on September 13th? Or reaching out to someone you met tonight? Is it telling your favorite nonprofit to apply for one of our grants? Is it learning about our community's issues at a Beyond the Headlines event? Is it gifting a membership to a loved one or friend? Is it joining or renewing tonight? I repeat, is it joining or renewing tonight? If you haven't renewed, please stand up. No, I'm just kidding. Our mission is one woman, one vote. If you'd like a vote at the 2023 Annual Awards celebration, tell us you're in. Use the QR code on your cookie to go to our website. Or if you'd prefer the paper menu, please see a friendly face at the membership table. If Impact100 is new to you, consider joining tonight. Ask a member why she joined and why she continues to renew. After all, we had an 86% renewal rate last year. If you're an existing member, why not renew tonight and take it off your list? Now, the deadline to renew is December 31st. Our newest membership team member asks you to renew early to save the team a call during the holidays. He wants all of the attention from Christmas to New Year's. I want to leave us tonight with a thought. What if all of us in this room, on the live stream, in our networks, were all in? How big could our organization grow? How big of an impact could we make on our community? Thank you all for coming tonight, and I hope you can show us you're all in.
Yeah, I was just doing a TikTok. Maybe it was a tic-tac, I'm not sure. It was a. But no, what a wonderful changing of the guard. Let's give a, why don't we stand up for our outgoing and our incoming presidents of the Impact100. It's almost time for us to call it a night, but just as a closing, I have to say that in my previous role in the news, you know, we'd hear headlines, devastating headlines, over and over again. It's frustrating, it's heartbreaking. And then also oftentimes you'd see a lack of headway over and over again. And that's even more frustrating, more heartbreaking at times. The organizations we heard from tonight set out to change that, to save a life, to change a life, to inspire a life, at least one life at a time, and do that over and over again. That's Impact. It's an honor to be a member. It's an honor to have been here again tonight. and to help someone get something done. How about it? We're getting something done together over and over again. So let's just do it again next year. Enjoy, stand up, communicate with one another again. It's been a wonderful night. Thank you.